Hey everybody, welcome back. I am on my own today, so I think I'm going to be working on the Lego city. Last week, Jordan made some changes to this area over here. He ripped out some of the rock work in this little cove, put a little staircase going down off of this little boardwalk, created a path that goes like under the train track right there. But this whole boardwalk has kind of been lacking in detail ever since it was built. These just got thrown in there when he was working on that because we had them lying around. So I think it needs some benches, maybe some food vendors. And yeah, we worked on some food vendors last week for the beach, so might kind of go with a similar vibe. And then just because it's close to it, we have some benches right over there that I might kind of match if I can. But yeah, we're just gonna work on a little city vlog here today. So I was gonna go under the table to the manhole over there so I could grab one of the benches just to see the exact design that we used. But I figured, little tip for you. If you have a big city with parts that are hard to reach, get yourself one of these. I've used these to place minifigures like that. Here's my bench. That was a lot easier than going through the table. First things first, this is necessary. Am I right? Unfortunately for me, before I get started, it looks like I'm gonna have to do a bit of cleanup. We finished working on our X-Mansion interior yesterday, and I started parting out all of our extra pieces that we didn't use. And I've got little piles, I did the work, I just gotta put them away. And I have to part all that stuff out, but I need to clear a little workstation, so I gotta do a little sort before I get to work here. That's a lot better. I do still have to part that bin out, but I cleaned up all the parts that I had lying out. Also, while I was cleaning, I came across these dinosaur tail elements. We couldn't find them. They're for this little goat up here that Jordan got in Bill in Denmark when we went a few weeks ago. I took a few pieces off so that he wouldn't fall apart while we traveled home, but we couldn't find his horns, so let's put those on. There we go. Poor little guy had been dehorned. This pretty cute little goat. Also, here's a little sneak peek. Jordan had started working on this briefly yesterday. He's got a little path around the temples that he was working on. I could definitely work on the mountain today. That's what we were going to do today, but I ended up coming in on my own today. And I don't really want to do that by myself. It's a lot of work. We're gonna work on sloping and detailing the mountain. I'm not really feeling that today, so city project it is. Alrighty, so this is that bench that I wanted to recreate for the boardwalk, and I decided to do it in dark red just to add a little pop of color to the boardwalk. It's right by the water, so there's lots of blue and obviously lots of light bluish gray with the boardwalk color, so wanted something different than the dark blue. Thought the red was nice, and then I've just been working away on 4 little food stands. They're same but different, just to allow some contrast and just some slight differences. I have a Belgian waffle stand. I've got just a little display with a few. I've got some chocolate sauce and strawberry, a little waffle maker there. Then I did a cupcake stand. I think I'm gonna add a figure in there icing some cupcakes. That would be fun. This is I don't know, kind of a grab and go snack cart, some drinks. My hands are shaky. What's going on there? And then last, I feel we always need a coffee cart, coffee stand, whatever, right? So we've got like some pumps of various flavored syrups maybe and a bunch of extra cups. And of course, a little coffee machine there. So I'm gonna go place all of these on the boardwalk and see if maybe there's anything else I want to add. As I came to place the food stands, I realized that I'm kind of cutting it short with how much space there is in front of it for walking. So I kind of have an idea. I think I'm gonna make like a little jut out here. I'll add like 4x plate right here to like extend the walkway. We've actually done that before right here. This is on the canal across from the Venetian houses. This rebrickable model that we recently did, it comes out like really far on the base plate, so there wasn't really enough walking room. So I think that was just like an easy way to add some walking space, and I think I'll do that same thing on the boardwalk there. Well, it took much longer than expected because I had to rip up a lot of the plate and change it to accommodate those jut outs. But here's the final product. I installed the benches, I made some little garbage bins, made those little jut outs, added the light posts back in, added a bunch of figures. There was that one there, another one here that same size. And then I made a larger one and then put 2 of the food stands together. And I think that worked out nicely. Rather than having just like 4 like individual ones, I thought that it looked good. Kind of, well, not spread out, I guess, as much, but having 2 grouped together, I think, kind of changed it up a bit. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that looks good. It took quite a while because, yeah, I had to like rip out, like these are just kind of hanging there, and I had to change all of the plate work because these were now like 1 stud less. So I had to rip that apart everywhere I installed one of these. Yeah, and then I had to like rip up all of the tiles to do the benches and all that. But yeah, got some storylines and everything. I threw some employees, some workers at all the food stands. Everyone over here is on a little lunch break, you know, taking a little break, having some snacks over here. I kept a lot of the figures that were over here, and then I just brought in some more. And I did, it's kind of hard to get in there, but someone's icing a cupcake at our cupcake stand there. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Seems like a simple addition, but it took the majority of my day, so there it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little city update there. It's nice to work on like small sections of the city because, like, again, like I said, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it takes a lot of time to even do just like minor little updates. So large updates require a lot of time, and having 2 people is preferred for that. So we're probably going to work on that mountain tomorrow, but I think this was a nice little accomplishment over here. So hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.